Hey guys, today is going to be a little bit of a different style of video because I wanted to step out into the outdoors and try recording something outside, perhaps encourage some people to go outdoors and connect with nature every now and again. But today I just wanted to get some things off my chest, so this isn't a tutorial, this is me just expressing some of my thoughts and concerns, because recently I've been struggling with motivation in my art and content creation. Now this is for a variety of reasons, but I think more than anything else it's because, social media has been going through a lot of changes recently. And if it's not obvious already, I'm talking about the impacts of AI. Now, before you click away, this isn't another AI is evil video. I'm not here to demonize technology in any way whatsoever. I just want to talk honestly about what I feel like I've been seeing in the creator space right now. And for those that might be new to the channel, you may not know that I am actually a web and software developer as my professional career. And this YouTube channel is just something I started during COVID because we were locked inside. I had all of this extra time to learn some new skills, and it very quickly became the place where I go to do something creative and detox from my professional life. But right now I'm in a position where I feel like I'm feeling the impacts of AI on both my professional work and my creative passions here on YouTube. And I think that's what I want to talk about today. Just a general conversation about what's been going through my mind recently, my concerns about the creative space as a whole, and how I think I'm going to be moving forward in this situation. So let's start with the social media problem. Did you know though that over 70% of images shared on the internet are AI generated? So that's 7 out of every 10 images you were scrolling through on your phone were not made by a human. And we're seeing the same impact with video content too, with tools like Sora now, and the rise of the AI artist. Even Coca-Cola has been jumping on the bandwagon with another completely AI generated Christmas advert for 2025. How magical is that? It's really starting to feel like nothing is real anymore. And the problem is all of this AI art is completely saturating our social media feeds. And these platforms, as we are well aware, don't really reward authentic content. It's more just consistent and high volume posting. So now you've got to compete with AI content creators that essentially can create limitless posts per day. So as an actual artist or content creator, you're in a position where you're really going to struggle to try to compete in this new AI world. And don't get me wrong, some of these AI pages actually create content that is quite interesting and in many cases absolutely hilarious. And it is, for me as a guy who loves technology, it is fascinating to see how far and how quick AI has come and what it's capable of now. But I do think it raises some questions and, causes some problems when we have people going around calling themselves AI artists. And I do think we need to be honest then at the same time about how much damage all of this AI generated stuff is doing to the artist economy. And for me especially, I'm at the point where I generally feel like, what is the point anymore? What is the point of putting all of this time and energy to post on these platforms that in the long term probably aren't going to benefit you that much anymore because they are completely filled with AI slop? And on top of that, many of these social media platforms now train their own AI models on anything you post on their platform. Now you can typically opt out, but the default is opted in. And can you really be sure that they're not just going to do it anyway? And this isn't unique to the art world alone. I've been seeing a similar trend in my professional work as a software developer too. AI automation is coming thick and fast. And I think already the field is in a bit of a strange place as things evolve. Now, don't get me wrong, AI coding still has a long way to go, but we are already seeing the wider impacts on junior and entry-level jobs. And then when we have tech CEOs like Mark Zuckerberg saying the long-term goal is essentially to have AI agents that are mid-level engineers, this does raise a lot of questions about the future. And we are already seeing massive layoffs in the tech industry. If I look at my stats here, Meta just cut 21,000 employees. Amazon laid off 27,000 people between 2022 and 2023. And they've also got another 14,000 cuts now planned for this year. Yes, and of course, people will say economic factors are playing a role here. But it's hard to blame the economy alone when these same tech giants and these same companies are reporting record profits. And we're talking about companies with a combined market value of over $10 trillion. That's trillion with a T. That's crazy. So when these same companies lay off tens of thousands of people, it's clearly not about, the survival of the company. It's just about maximizing shareholder value. In other words, I just call it simply greed. And AI just feels like the perfect excuse then to allow these companies to cut costs while profits skyrocket. And as a developer myself, part of me thinks, are we participating in our own obsolescence here? But if you think about it, do you really want to live in a world where we are beholden to these huge tech giant companies who hold all of the AI power, while we are just forced to pay a subscription for a little piece of the pie? So we've switched over to mobile cam because my main camera battery died, and we've come home because it was getting a little bit cold outside. So now I'm hiding in my spare bedroom away from my cat so I can actually try to finish up this video. But back onto the topic at hand, this is where I always try to shift my thinking, to try to see things in a more positive light. Instead of seeing this whole AI situation as a big loss in the creative space, I'm trying to see it more as giving myself permission to take up this opportunity now to try new things, learn a new skill, or try that new style of content that I've always wanted to try and give a go, but I've always been a little anxious or just didn't quite have the courage to try. Such as creating this video, for example. I really don't enjoy being in front of the camera, but I do like communicating with people and I do like talking about interesting things. So this is me having courage to try this and give it a go. And if you are perhaps finding yourself in a similar position, my suggestion is to give yourself permission and have the courage to try new things too. And I think this is going to be the perfect time to mention today's sponsor, Skillshare. If you're like me and you are considering learning some new skills, Skillshare is the perfect platform to support your journey. Skillshare is an online learning platform with tons of different classes where you can learn pretty much anything from leading professionals in the field. You might have noticed that during this video, my camera skills leave a lot to be desired, so I've been exploring a course by Marcus Brownlee to learn how to improve my videos. Marcus Brownlee is a very successful content creator, and his course is packed with incredibly useful insights covering all of the fundamentals of planning, writing, scripting, shooting, and editing your videos. I think my favorite part has been taking a behind the scenes look at the wide array of cameras, lenses, and other gear that Marcus uses to make his videos. I've already got a fair amount of camera gear, but now I've also got the insight into how to effectively film my videos, so hopefully they'll be looking better in the future. And for the rest of November, the first 500 people to sign up using my link in the description or scanning the QR code on the screen will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare and 20% off their first payment. So why not give Skillshare a try today and learn something new? Now, to close today, I just want to say, none of us have the answers. It doesn't matter how many YouTube videos you watch, none of us really know what the industry is going to look like next year, nor 5 years from now. What I actually do know is that I still want to create regardless. It really doesn't matter what the industry looks like. I'm going to still keep creating just because it's something I enjoy. I think going forward now, the content might just look a little different as we find these new areas or these niches that AI can never truly replicate. At the same time, I am reading articles about how this AI bubble might soon pop as we begin to realize its limitations. I think the truth of the situation is, the future is a little messy, uncertain, which can seem scary in the moment. But we need to remember, that uncertainty also means possibility. Whether that's, pivoting into something new or finding that new niche that AI just can't replicate. So if you're feeling the same way, struggling with motivation and just questioning your place in all of this, just remember you're not alone. But I do want to hear from you. Are you a creative working in the field? How has AI impacted your work, if at all? And are you feeling that same motivational struggle in your work, or have you already found your new path forward? But I think that's going to be about it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this discussion and this different style of video, and if you did enjoy this, let me know. Perhaps we can do some more in the future. But as always, my name is Keelan. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you in the next one.